Howdy. How long did it take you guys to realize that howdy is like a big mashup of how do you do? Because I feel like it took me way too long to realize that. Just me? Okay. Maybe no one else even thinks about that. Today we will be discussing one of my favorite topics, my bucket list. This video is going to be part of a series because my bucket list is ever growing, ever elongated, always being added onto. And this, what I even have here and I'm going to share with you today, doesn't even begin to cover the things that are already on it. These are just the things that I can think of, but there's so much I want to do that's still stored up in the old noggin, just lying dormant until the time should arise that I get to execute my plans. I mean, hey, starting a YouTube channel was on my bucket list, and look, here we are. I mean, being successful at YouTube is another item. I'm not gonna include any travel destinations in this video because the length of the list of places that I'm gonna go to at some point in my life is so expansive and extensive that it deserves its own video. So this is purely gonna be activities. I wanna do an Ironman. They just look like you're such a cool person if you do Ironmans. I feel like it's such a test of strength and grit, and the process that you have to go through to get ready for something like that is something I want to go through and be able to challenge myself to do. Oh, it's just so cool. I want to snowshoe. Snowshoeing seems like such an adventure. Also, in the same lane as snowshoeing, I want to cross-country ski. I do regular skiing and I see people snowshoeing and cross-country skiing while I'm on the slopes and I'm like, dang, that looks so cool. You have to be so fit to be able to do that too. And you can go snow camping. Another thing, I want to snow camp. Snow activities, you just have to be so hardcore in order to do them, and they look like so much fun. I want to try the Bill Gates reset method. If you don't know, the Bill Gates reset method is something that Bill Gates does, I think it's biannually, where he has a helicopter and he gets flown out into this cabin in the middle of the woods and he stays out there, no electronics, for a whole week by himself, no connection with the outside world whatsoever. And he just reads a bunch of books and like hikes, he said. And I mean, I don't have a helicopter, I'm not gonna be able to fly out into the middle of the woods like that. But I will do it one day because it seems so cool. I think that the fear is what if an atomic war breaks out while you're there and then you're just in this cabin in the middle of nowhere and then after a week passes, the helicopter didn't come to get you and you're like, uh-oh, and like you stay there for a couple more weeks and you're like, uh-oh, and so you hike out and then everything's a desertous wasteland and then it's like, what even happened? You don't know. But that's a risk I'm willing to take because it looks like a really fun and calming thing to do. And I just want to take it to the extreme like my bud Bill. I want to make nut milk from scratch. That seems so cool. And other thing, like I want to make pasta from scratch. I think that's later on the list, but I want to make pasta from scratch. Nut milk and pasta. I bet it tastes better. Stuff that you make at home always tastes better. I want to audition for an acting role. This one is one of the most nerve-wracking things on there. It's actually the least dangerous thing, probably. I mean, nut milk, pretty dangerous. But it's so scary. Acting roles, auditioning seems terrifying. And so it's on my bucket list for the purpose of getting over that fear. But also, what if one day I become an actor? And I would be giving up this potential acting life because I was too scared to audition. You know what I mean? I want to do stand-up comedy. This is another very scary one right by the acting role. Stand-up comedy is mortifying. I love it though, but to prepare a monologue, a skit, and then perform it, oh, it's so nerve-wracking, but I so badly want to do it. I love making people laugh. It's scary, but I definitely want to do it. I want to make Ratatouille. Fun. It was like my favorite Disney movie growing up. I've seen it, if I'm making an actual estimate, probably 45 times. It's such a good movie, and so I want to make Ratatouille. I've seen people on TikTok make Ratatouille, and it's not especially difficult. It's a lot easier than I thought, so I'm gonna make Ratatouille. I want to be in a live studio audience, to be one of the laughing people in the background forever and then on. You can always be like, yeah, I laughed in that one episode. And I always hear stories of actors messing up their lines and having to redo it like 18 times, and then the audience just laughing even harder every time because it's funnier and funnier whenever they mess up. And just to see the actors mess up and see the whole process, maybe it'll inspire me to actually audition for an acting role. I don't know. Maybe they'll be like, wow, she has a very contagious laugh in the audience. We'll give you a part on the show. Who knows? I want to take a health shot. I've never been able to muster up the courage to take a, what's it it called? Apple cider vinegar shot. I've tried before. It's so gross. But I want to take a health shot. That just seems fun. I want to put grapes in a microwave. If you don't know what I'm talking about, look up a YouTube video. You put grapes in a microwave and it creates plasma and it is all blue and it totally ruins the microwave. So if and when my next microwave breaks, I'm putting grapes in that puppy and watching the magic happen. I don't precisely know what this next one's called, but the thing that Canadians do where they take the fresh maple syrup and pour it onto the snow and then you eat it. I learned about this in my Spanish class of all places, but Canadians obviously are known for their maple syrup, and supposedly what they'll do is when they make it and when it's done, it's obviously like boiling hot. And so then, but they get a bunch of snow in Canada, and so they'll pour the maple syrup over the snow and it cools instantly. And then, you know, let's say the grandkids are outside making a snowman, you say, kids, maple syrup's ready, and then you all come and like eat it out of the snow. I want to do that so badly, but the issue is, I need a Canadian friend with a Canadian family who makes maple syrup. So this one's definitely going to take some planning, some networking, but I'm going to make it happen because that just seems so fun. I want to take a lesson on how to salsa dance and a lesson on how to ballroom dance. Salsa dancing just looks so fun and vibrant and lively. I've always wanted to do it and like learn how to do the weird hip thing. Maybe that's the mamba. I honestly don't know. This is why I need to take a lesson. And to be able to pull that out as like a party trick if I'm at a party with my boyfriend or husband or whatever, or ballroom dancing, this really sprouted. I saw a TikTok of this couple ballroom dancing in the snow and that's goals. I just want that. So if and when the time should ever arrive when I need to ballroom dance, I will have the skills. I want to try the chicken of the woods mushroom. I've heard it's just a mushroom in the woods that tastes like chicken. Seems cool. Or what's the other ones? They're called like matsutake mushrooms? But they're supposed to be real stinky. But they're a delicacy in a lot of Eastern Asia, like Japan and Korea. They're really well known and people evidently love them. And they grow in Oregon too, so people come over and pick them in Oregon. And if you grew up with them, it's kind of like durian. I can't do it. Or if you grow up with it, it doesn't affect you and they taste delicious. But if you've never been around them or exposed to the smell and taste at a young age, it just tastes awful. And so I want to try that. I've never even tried durian pure. I've only ever tried durian cake at one of my friend's birthday parties, and oh boy, that was a lot to handle. I didn't handle it well. I said this in my last video. I want to try squidding pasta. That's fun. I want to try food from a food truck. In my 17 years of life, I've actually never eaten from a food truck, so I really want to. There's this Hawaiian food truck that I've passed like 3 times now. It's somewhere close to our house, and I really want to go there. I just need the experience of eating at a food truck, you know? I feel like the food hits different, like street food, you know? Oh, and I want to try one of those, like, what's it called? California burritos, Los Angeles burritos, the one that has the fries and the guac and the meat. I'm just describing a normal burrito, but they look so good. I want to have a picnic in the middle of a roundabout. I saw a TikTok where a girl did this and it just looks so fun. The hard part is though finding a roundabout that's just grass and doesn't have a bunch of shrubbery in it. I mean, I suppose I could do that, but I would rather have one that's grass, so I'm constantly on the lookout for the perfect roundabout to have a picnic on. It's become like a subconscious scanning thing. I'm always on the lookout. I want to try a beignet. I've never had one. And Tiana makes them look so good in The Princess and the Frog, so I want to have a beignet. Maybe I need to go to Mardi Gras. I want to do trivia night at a bar. That just looks so fun, and I love trivia. I love Jeopardy, and so I feel like all the facts that I've accumulated over the years will come out, and I can channel this power and dominate at bar trivia. I want to go to the Staten Island dump. This one, a little bit of explaining. Pete Davidson said on his Hot Ones interview that the Staten Island dump is a gold mine. And ever since he said that, I've wanted to go. I've never visited a dump. I mean, I've dropped stuff off at the dump, but I've never been to a dump. And I feel like of all the dumps to go to in the world, the Staten Island dump, it seems like the right one to go to. I want to hold a tarantula. This is so scary. In my mind, it doesn't seem that bad. But then whenever I see an actual tarantula, say at the pet store, oh my gosh, I can't do it. So I want to overcome that fear and be able to say I've held a tarantula and then quickly set it down. There's so many eyes and they're so big and they're fuzzy. Spiders have no right to be fuzzy. I want to ride in a hot air balloon. Hot air balloon rides just look so magical and fun, and I want to do one. And I want to be that person that people point to when they're like, oh look, it's a hot air balloon. Can you imagine riding in a blimp? Aren't there only 6 blimps left in the world? That'd be a cool thing. Yeah, so hot air balloon ride. I keep saying it just looks so fun. They all look fun, that's why they're on the list. I want to learn how to taxi whistle. It's the one where you take your fingers and like go. I don't even know how to normal whistle though. Like I don't. I can only make the noise when I suck in. I can't blow out and do it. So maybe that's the first step. Maybe the first thing on the bucket list should be learn how to whistle properly, and then maybe we can move on to the taxi whistle. I'll tell you when I get there. I want to zip line through the jungle. All the videos that you see of people ziplining through the jungle for miles, say in Brazil or Argentina, that just looks amazing and exhilarating. I feel like you'd accidentally swallow exotic bugs on your way down, for sure. I want to become good at ice skating. Ice skating, and me, a hazard. I was watching the Winter Olympics, what was it, like 4 years ago? And I think both gold and silver medalists for figure skating were 15 years old. 15! I'm 17. It just, when I see people doing stuff like that, I'm like, man, what am I doing with my life, you know? Like, I'm not out here winning the Olympics, bro. So figure skating is on the to-do. I want to learn how to play the piano. Full stop. I really want to play the violin, but first, my friend, I need to learn to play piano. I was not one of those kids blessed where my parents forced me to learn piano when I was younger. I didn't want to learn piano when I was younger, so I was happy for it then, very unhappy for it now, because it has stunted my musical careers. Is it my lack of talent and my lack of motivation to practice? Also that, but also it would help if I knew the piano. I want to be that person who opens their windows wide in the neighborhood while they're practicing piano and all the neighbors are like, not again. I want to be that lady. Lastly, I'm gonna eat haggis. I want to eat haggis. I'm gonna go to Scotland and I'm gonna try it, and I'm very excited. I've heard that it's tasty. I mean, everyone just says that it all tastes like chicken, you know? But it's a weird thing, because in the States, you know, we eat almost exclusively the muscle. We don't eat a lot of organs, but in tons of other places, they eat all the parts, you know? Sheep's head is a delicacy, I think, in both China and Norway, and stuff like that seems so cool. So haggis is musty. Also sheep's head. Okay, this last bit sounded a little gross, but I definitely want to do it. I mean, Indiana Jones in one of his movies ate monkey brains, and that was on my to-do list. Not to-do list, like, today, eat monkey brains. But on my bucket list for a while, and now I'm kind of questioning it. I don't know if I have the stomach to do that, but it's a maybe. I'm open to it. Thank you for listening to part 1 of my bucket list. And maybe you got inspiration for things that you want to do. I hope you did. Or maybe you're like, Katie, let's do it together. DM me. Slide into those DMs. If you want to eat haggis with me, bro, let's do it. And if you have any like awesome bucket list items that you think I'd enjoy, comment them, because I'm always adding to this. Okay, ciao. Thank you for watching. Ah!